Good morning, beloveds. I've already had a busy day. I got up, went to the gym. He asked me to do wild and ridiculous things this morning. Of course, what he was asking Tom to do was probably worse, so, Um, I came home, grabbed that shower, because shower after the gym. And I was talking to the cat, and the cat's like, oh, we're going to go to the live stream. So he shot all the way into the room to come do it. And then he comes back going, are you coming? I had to stop and pick up the phone because the phone was on the charger. So, he's been a little clingy today, and I'm not sure why, because I was here all day yesterday. I don't know why he's clingy. But he is the cat. So, all right. So he's on the heating pad next to me, purring. He probably will not make an appearance because, All right, it is March 5th. Our title is No More Guilt. The first quote is, afterwards ye shall return and be guiltless before the presence. And that is Numbers 32:22. The second quote is, Jesus did not say to the thief upon the cross, miserable sinner that you are, you must suffer through endless ages of retribution. Merely said, you are sleeping to the past and waking to the future. Today thou shalt be with me in paradise. And that is from This Thing Called You, my favorite book from Ernest Holmes, which is on page 29. Being human, we all make mistakes, even harmed ourselves. We've all made mistakes, even harmed ourselves or another. We learned appropriate corrective measures in nursery school or before. Say you're sorry and don't do it again. Sometimes, though, we have said we're sorry, haven't done it again, and yet still carry a weight of guilt. Recently, I forgot to do a small thing I had promised someone, and a feeling of overall inadequacy engulfed me. Where had this all come from? Suddenly I remembered being 10 years old, promising and neglecting to walk a neighbor's dog, and feeling miserable after a long lecture about my lack of responsibility. The lecture was warranted at the time, but a part of me still clung to that residual guilt, blowing current circumstances out of proportion. Shedding guilt calls for a reappraisal of ourselves and our motives. We are perfect expressions of God who occasionally, but not by necessity, do the wrong thing, which then has to be acknowledged and amended. We may have been told we are innately flawed and doomed to live in perpetual guilt. This has never been true. We have the right to be happy, doing the best we can, learning as we go. Today, I let go of guilt. This is a new day in which I am responsible and honorable, knowing that God acts through me. I am free to live and to love, and that is JJ, which is Jesse Jennings, which is my teacher. So, I don't know about you, but I grew up Catholic. Catholics are the past master of guilt. The irony of being raised Catholic is you go every week to confession. And like as a child, I went to confession and I was like, so I need to make up something to confess to. Because I was a reasonable child. I didn't act out. Most of the time I did what I was supposed to do. So this idea of going to confession just never made sense to me. It never made sense to me. And so I was just like, okay, you want me to make something up to tell the priest? Which, but we all do things. We all make mistakes. We are spiritual beings having human experiences. We make mistakes. And he says it right in there. The best apology is changed behavior. Say you're sorry and don't do it again. The best apology is changed behavior. And yes, absolutely saying you're sorry and meaning it. Because, people fall into patterns and habits where they'll say they're sorry, but they say it insincerely and then they don't change their behavior. So the best apology is always change behavior. And if you do that, and that's what it is. We make a mistake, we learn from the mistake, we incorporate the lessons, we let it go. That's the ideal situation. We don't continue to beat ourselves up for mistakes that we've made. We've all been there. We've all been there. And anybody that holds you to a mistake, especially if you have made amends and changed your behavior, you might want to question their value in your life. They may not have, and there are going to be people that are going to be like that, and there are people that we deal with on a regular basis, and it's like maybe we work with them, and you just have to look them straight in the face and go, and it's like, be that duck and let it roll off your back. It's like, clearly you are talking about your own issues. What your issues have nothing to do with me. So while you are projecting onto me, it has nothing to do with me. I have done nothing wrong in this situation, and go about your business. And that is one of the ways that you let go of guilt. If you have made a mistake, you absolutely make amends, you change your behavior. But we're going to meet a lot of people who carry around that guilt, and the guilt is too heavy for them to bear, so they're constantly projecting it out onto others. And we don't have to take it. Beloveds, we do not have to take it. There's no call for us to be mean about it. We just recognize, okay, hey, you're projecting something onto me that has nothing to do with me. I see you, and I'm not going to respond to this. I'm not going to react. I'm absolutely not going to react to it. And I'm not going to respond to it. Most of the time when that happens, I just nod and go about my business. Sometimes it does require an answer, especially if you're dealing with people in authority. Answer them and go, okay, and go do what you're going to do anyway. It's actually a remarkably, when you are ready to let go of all of the guilt, all of it, it can make for a really healthy mindset. Because when people come to you and say, hey, you know what you did hurt me, then you can look at yourself, you can evaluate yourself, and you can say, I'm sorry, let me change that behavior. And then you can change your behavior. And when people come to you and go, well, blah, 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 I am hurt, but which has nothing to do with you. I'm just telling you that I am hurt. Then you can go, I see. Okay. And go about your business. You do not have to take on their guilt. So there's two things about this. One, if it is in the past, forgive yourself, change your behavior, incorporate the lesson, and move on. And when you meet people that are carrying weights that are too heavy for them, and they are trying to offload onto you, you don't have to pick it up. You don't have to pick it up. What you can do is look at them and see, okay, I see you bearing a burden. Now, you don't have to say it to them. Sometimes, depending on the situation, you can say, I can see you're bearing a burden, but you don't have to pick it up. Guilt, it really has no place. The only place that guilt has is in that moment when you realize that you have done something wrong. It's that prod to fix it, to make amends, to change your behavior. That's the only place guilt has. Guilt long term, it's corrosive. It will eat you down to nothing. And there's no point in holding on to it. And occasionally we're going to make mistakes that we're not going to be able to make amends to. And that's where self-forgiveness comes in. I have a number of people that, where I've interacted with, and indeed in ministerial school, there was that time when we were sent to go and I went to an AA meeting to see that process. And one of their steps is to make amends, unless making amends will harm the person more. And then you just have to bear up under that. That's where you change your behavior, but you don't go to the person and say, I'm sorry. You change your behavior, and then you forgive yourself and live your life. So what's in the past is past. There is nothing we can do to change what happened. The only power we have is to change our behavior going forward. Make amends, say you're sorry, and go and change your behavior going forward. So take that for the gift that it is. And when you meet people who are clearly carrying it and clearly projecting, if you have done your work, you won't pick up their baggage. You won't pick up their baggage. You will recognize that in this moment, you're just a sounding board and you let it roll off you. All right? I think in the thing that we do on Sunday morning, we talk about, it was something I was reading up. It was talking about misplaced anger. And sometimes we're the target of misplaced anger. What they're angry about has nothing to do with us. And yet we're the one who catches it. When you have done your forgiveness work and you have let go of all of your guilt, then you don't pick that up. I'm not saying you won't meet people with misplaced anger. I'm just saying you won't take it on. And they won't stir up your guilt because you have let it go. The image of getting out your suitcases, unpacking your baggage, laying it out, looking at it, and then letting it go is very apropos, so that the bags you're carrying are just what you need. And guilt has no place in those bags. No place in those bags. In this life, we want to travel lightly. And the amazing thing is that the qualities of God, joy, happiness, peace, they're all light. They're all easy. They're not small, but they're light. Guilt, that's too heavy of a burden to bear. All right, mission today. Should we choose to accept it? Forgive yourself. Incorporate the lessons. Move on. The mission today, should we choose to accept it? I'm going to use his treatment down here. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to let go of guilt. To recognize that this is a new day and we are responsible and honorable, knowing that God acts through us. That's the mission. When we know who we are, we do better. As Maya Angelou says, we did the best we could with what we knew, and now that we know better, we do better. All right? So, mission today. Let go of the guilt. Recognize today is a new day, and that we are going to act responsibly and honorably as we allow God to act through us, as we allow the Spirit to act through us. All right? When you do that, can't go wrong. So, second mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is to practice the spiritual principle of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like, big, small, doesn't matter. Point is to practice. My goal in asking you to do it every day is to help you create a habit, to create a default setting, as I like to say, a first response, where no matter what happens, you respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately to yourself and to others. All right? When you create this well-worn path of responding lovingly, kindly, and compassionately, you are creating a path to the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion, which is the source of your own being. It should be easy to get to, but that's why we practice. So that no matter what happens, we respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately. And it can look like taking a deep breath. It can look like taking a nap. I mean, almost everything works better if you turn it off and turn it back on again, including you. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like removing yourself from a situation occasionally. It also looks like eating dessert first. All right. I remind you that yes, it is absolutely about self-care. Love, kindness, and compassion is absolutely about self-care. Can't pour from an empty cup. But it's also about making room for joy. As he said in here, we all deserve to be happy. All right. So when we respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately, when we practice love, kindness, and compassion, we are our own best test subjects. We get immediate feedback. Sometimes that looks like making room. Actually, oftentimes it looks like making room for joy.
Surprise!
Happiness is a quality of God. You deserve it. So sometimes it looks like eating dessert first. Sometimes it looks like wearing the nice clothes. Sometimes it looks like getting out the nice china. Your life is a special occasion. Treat it as such. All right? Don't save the good stuff. Okay, so that is loving, kind, compassionate, spiritual practice. Please practice on yourself. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Moving on into, I encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain will work better when it is well hydrated. I've had a whole lot of water this morning. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light. Got to watch the sun come up this morning because we happen to be on the road to the gym at sunrise. And it was this nice orange ball, and it made the sky, there are no clouds at all. It made the sky nice and orange. It's nice to see the sunrise occasionally. I like to watch the sunsets. I like to watch the sunrises. So, and this is the time of year where they're close enough together that you can reasonably do both. So get that early in your day bright light. It's called a circadian rhythm. I talk about it because it's science. It is a hormone rhythm. That early in your day bright light helps to reset your hormones. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll have more energy. You'll sleep better at night. It is science. You can look it up. All right. And then my quote, Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Everything is God stuff. Everything is made of God stuff, including us, which means good. It means good. It means no matter what situation we walk into, there's always good because we bring it with us. All right. So, and opening the windows of your soul. Yes, I'm asking you to be vulnerable. I'm not asking you to, I'm reminding you to be safe, but I'm asking you to be vulnerable to the amazingness that life can be. To let it open our heart, to let it change our heart, to let it bring to us the realization that heaven is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Once we learn that, and straight up, it is a superpower. I'm not even kidding. Once we learn that, we can create heaven anywhere. It ceases to be a place and becomes any place. And with practice, talk a lot about practice, it can become every place. Every place. Heaven is a state of grace. Once Surprise. You learn how to do it, it's amazing. Nobody can take it away from you. All right? So practice, practice, practice. And you can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. I'm going to have to turn my phone off if they don't stop texting. Gotta love group texts. So look for the good and praise it. Gratitude will get you everywhere. Okay, Emma. Gotta love Emma. All right, I think I'm at the part where I remind you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I do encourage you, if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. And the constant contact will, as my brain just shorts out, the hot links are hot. It will, if it says click here now, it'll take you right to where you want to go. It'll either take you right to the information, i.e. the playlists. One of the constant contact hot links is to our soul sessions. Fantastic playlist. Click here now takes you right to the YouTube channel. Then you can subscribe and just see all that stuff all the time. So please avail yourself of that. And, there's a new feature on our website. So you can, if you go to the Sunday Talks on the website, that will also take you right to our YouTube channel. So really cool. All right, moving on. Yep, moving on. I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a Sunday, a sunny day, a beautiful day, a spring day, because it's the weather. Oh, the weather is nice. A go do something fun day, a let go of the guilt day, a know who you are day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day because you are enough just as you are. You're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are God in action. You are spirit in emotion. You are godling. Know who you are. I know who you are. I have faith. All right, beloveds. I need to go eat breakfast so that we can get on with, because it is Sunday, the Sunday service, which will be right here on Facebook Live at 11, provided all of the pieces are in order, because that's what worries me about those text messages. We're trying to change electronics right now, so yeah. All right. And take care. Oh, Reverend David. So we'll have a service for you at 11. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.